Hello enthusiasts! I wanted to share a couple of my settings here for PSVR2's version of Beat Saber with the new Sense controllers, with the new update as well. They have all these options in here under the controls, options, settings, controllers to adjust the angle, rotation, and so on for these to your liking. So I had it at default setting for a while. I just changed the X rotation to be a little bit higher than the 0 point, because 0 is pretty high up. It's, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It feels like swinging down, you have to bend your wrists a lot more, so I wanted to mess with the settings, and I found out it's kind of working for me for now. This is just a guideline, just a suggestion, maybe a starting point, and then you can tweak things until you figure out what works best for you. But what I did, instead of having the Z-axis at 0, I set that all the way up to 10. Z-axis is where these rotate, so this is in the center. All the way down here is at the end, which is where it was originally on the PSVR 2 until they updated it. And 10 is at the back here. So I figured out with your Z setting all the way up to 10 centimeters, rotation is a little bit easier. It feels more like this is your hand here, and your wrist and your forearm are free to just kind of remain as they are. So you don't have to use your wrists as much. You can use your hands to swipe. If you want to use your wrists, it's got a little bit better of an angle for swiping, I believe. And then the X rotation, just pointing forward a little bit more. I don't know if it's quite as much as the default before they had the update. It's not pointing towards my trigger as much, but it's kind of a halfway point. So finding a good X rotation here so you're not forcing your wrist down beyond what it physically should do is a good thing. And then I messed with these settings afterwards, the X and Y rotation as well, -1 for X and 3 for Y, just because when I put my knuckles together, I want the rotation to feel centered here. So I'm rotating my knuckles against each other until my thumbs hit, and you can see that they're staying pretty stable, pretty centered. They're not rotating around each other. If you go back to the default settings here, you'll see that they kind of rotate around. So this is rotating my knuckles without those settings on. So I'm going to set that as -1, and then was that +3, I think. So the rotation feels nice and smooth. They stay where they are. Axis is at the back for the rotation. A little bit more swiping ability, and it feels like a little bit further forward with this, having the Z axis all the way at 10, but you can kind of get used to it, get a feel of the songs as the notes are coming towards you. So let's get into a song here, and I actually found out that with these settings, I haven't changed them, so -1, 3, 10, 10. With these settings on, I feel like I've been doing a lot better on the harder music. I've been playing some Expert Plus songs and not failing right away, and Expert is easier on some of the harder songs I normally fail on as well. So let's try a random one. I don't know, I haven't played this but once, I think. And when I hold these Sense controllers, I take my fingers off the triggers. Oh, missing some here. Okay, I may still have to tweak some things. Again, these are just possible starting recommendations and figure out what works best for you. With any adjustments, you always have to get used to the new settings and figure out what feels right, what doesn't feel right. Feels less of a burden to swipe these notes when you have the Z-axis at the far end. It's much easier just to start swiping. Sorry, I'm talking, so let's try and get to this song. Oops. Anyway, I got an S, even though I had many missed notes. Again, there's always a learning curve, but figure out what settings work for you, and if you think that these are bad settings, let me know what you think, what some recommendations may be, because I just started experimenting with this. It's just a starting point. I might modify it in the future, but if anyone knows anything that should be changed here, adjustments to be made to improve my game, make it easier. I don't want to have anyone use any bad habits here in the controls and the settings, but this is what's working for me for now. Obviously it's not perfect, but yeah, I think I'm enjoying it quite a bit now with these new options, and it feels a little bit easier swiping. I don't have to swipe as much with my arm. I can kind of just rotate a little bit my wrists, and my wrists aren't bothering me as much either with these settings. When I had the original settings, it felt like I had to move my wrist really far and bend it more than what it was supposed to do. So anyway, let me know what you think. Add some comments. If you found this video helpful, click the thumbs up, and I'll sign off for now.